now. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? And how are you? Well, as you can see, Artie is not here. Hey, Gary, can you tell me about the phone call you got from Art? There is a situation that has developed.
Really?
What's going on with Artie? Wait a second. Where's your microphone? How dare you? Go ahead.
I guess it was about 10 after 5 this morning. I'm driving in, and the phone rings. Usually it's Sal to tell me he missed his train at Jamaica, but it was Artie, which I was sort of surprised at. And I said, hey, what's up? And he goes, listen, dude. He goes, I got up. It was dark in the house, and I walked into a bookcase or something. And he goes, I hit my eye. He goes, there's blood all over the place. Oh. He goes, I called a cab. I'm on my way to the emergency room, and I'm like, he goes, I guess I'll be in later. I'm like, well, Artie, just go and get it taken care of. Just, call me as soon as everything's done to tell me how you're doing. And he goes, yeah, I don't know what happened, and hopefully the emergency room isn't that full, and I'll talk to you later.
That's a pretty good Artie impression. You did a really good Artie impression there.
Thanks. I talk to him a lot like that. I have more conversations.
Did he say, dude?
Hey, I walked into it.
He said a bookcase or a cabinet.
Wow.
I think he said a cabinet. I think he said he worked.
His apartment booby trapped?
Well, I was saying to Howard, Artie doesn't sleep like a regular person, so like he falls down and sleeps for like 17 hours. And when you wake up like that, it's dark. Sometimes, I don't know.
Artie keeps going until he sleeps for like 2 days straight.
It's dark. Of course it's dark. It's dark every morning when you get up.
I know. I don't know. I have no explanation.
Can you do an impression of Artie at the emergency room and what that's going to go like?
Hey, listen, I hit a bookcase and there's blood all over the place. He gets stitched me up. I got to get to work.
There you go. He's good. Fla, fla, flo, he has an impression.
His eye?
Or his head or his eye.
Good Lord.
Again, I was like...
Who knows?
I was so unprepared for the call.
Gary doing the Artie impression almost perfectly.
Well, why didn't he just sit in the chair?
Because I have no material.
Do you really think he's at an emergency room?
Yes. See, I always believe Artie.
Where do you think he would be? Like if he's
Back
not
to sleep.
Oh, you think he just wanted to sleep? But then he'd have to come in at some point with stitches. He clearly told me he's getting stitches.
He'd have to put Band-Aids on.
Matt, you're on the air.
Hospital.
Jersey City, New Jersey. Hey now.
Just call and let you know there ain't no way in hell Artie's making it in today.
Oh, what's the over/under here? I mean, what are the chances of Artie actually making it?
Okay, so he's probably at the hospital now. They'd have to stitch him up.
If he gets in, I mean, who knows what's in the emergency room?
Right. But when Artie walks into the emergency room, aren't they going to know it's Artie?
Don't they just stop with all the real emergencies?
Yeah,
you know what's funny? It's funny when you go to an emergency room, they have a way of not knowing who anybody. They don't even look up.
Bianca, you're on the air in Great Lakes, Ohio.
Hey, Howard.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Send Howard 100 News over there at ER right now.
Howard 100 News?
Yeah, go send him over at ER, see what's going on.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Bianca.
Oh, sweetheart. All right. I hope y'all are okay.
Oh, I'm okay.
We're okay. It's Artie we have to worry about.
Oh, hi, Robin.
Hi.
Oh, you know what? Every time Artie doesn't come in, you always think something else.
Can you imagine the look of joy on Artie's face while he's getting stitched up and Langford walks in and sticks a mic in his face?
Death, you're on the air. Go ahead. Death.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, I was calling for Artie.
Oh,
This
Death.
is Death calling for Artie.
I was going to tell him I'm coming to get him in August.
Just hold on.
So August is when you're coming. All right. Thank you, Death.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
Can you rename the show The Slow Death of Artie Lang?
No, it's always the Howard Stern Show.
All right, Howard. You're the best, man. We love you.
Hey, Death, who gave you this number? Kenneth Keith Kallenbach?
Yes,
Oh.
All right. Thank you.
I saw him looking for little girls up here.
Stop it.
Ridiculous.
Have a good day, pal.
What's
I
going
think
on?
Death is trying to say that Artie's rushing the schedule and he's not due till August.
Oh, okay. Death was afraid he had made an early visit. Hey, did I hear on yesterday's wrap-up show you claim you've had 80 blowjobs from different women?
No.
Wait a second. I heard Benji said he's had sex with 100 women, which is so total horseshit.
No. Benji said he had sex with hundreds of women.
Yeah. And you said that although you've only had sex with 2 women, your wife and one other woman, because you got married young, that you claim you had up to 80 different women blow you.
No, what happened was Benji said if you cut out the blowjobs and everything else, he's been with about 80 women. Right, Benj? That's what you said?
Right.
And somebody asked me about my number, and I said it would approach that.
You're so full of it.
I'm not full of it.
You're telling me you had blowjobs from almost 80 women before you got married.
No, less than 80 women. I said approaching.
70 women? Somewhere in that ballpark.
A decent.
And how old were you when you met your wife?
I was 20. No, I was younger than that.
You were like, what, 18?
Yes.
And you're saying by the time, between the ages of, what, 16 and 18, you had almost 80 blowjobs?
Younger than that.
From different women. You believe this?
I mean, I'd have to say...
He was the blowjob king.
I just don't buy that for a second.
I'd have to sit back and literally count, but I said the number would approach Benji's number. I didn't say 80.
How many would you say?
60?
Roughly, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Artie just showed up, but go ahead. Yeah.
I got to tell you something.
Let me see your eye.
Oh,
wow.
Yikes.
Look that bad, you think?
Yeah. That's major.
It's right near your eye.
I know. I got lucky.
What the hell did you do?
I got lucky. First of all, you know the video of Jeff the drunk, his momentum taking him by the elevator. I'm so heavy now that I get up at 5 a.m. every day, right? So the alarm goes off, and sometimes I'm so deathly afraid of oversleeping, you know?
Right, you pop up.
I looked up, and I thought it said 6 a.m. for some reason. So now I'm like in a panic, and I'm in this other dimension that you go into a little bit, and I get up, and I'm like rushing around, and I hit my shin on the fucking bed, which I do every day.
Right.
And I react to that, and then after I react to that, I just start moving forward, and I have like just shit upon shit of clothes, and like I'm writing this book now. There's papers all over the place. It looks like a mental patient's, but like Jack Klugman's bedroom in Odd Couple, and I stripped over some clothes, and my momentum. All 300 pounds of me, I couldn't stop. I kept going forward, and You
fell?
I fell, and I went directly into the corner of
the night table?
The dresser, which has a real sharp edge.
Hey, look at that. It just missed taking your eye out.
The guy said, you're so lucky. It could have went directly in your eye.
Yeah, because it just missed the eye, so your eye is not affected.
So look at the big scratch on your face, and then the blood and
I know,
the stitches.
it looks horrible.
So now the blood is just gushing. It was like a geyser of fucking blood, and
you're still going to be good looking, I hope.
Oh well, listen. They said
a scar sometimes makes a man more appealing.
They made me not this man. I could join hottest guy wears scar if we ever have it. And
wow.
Look,
Boy,
I went over.
Almost took out your eye.
I went over to the mirror, and it was just gushing blood. Like blood was all over my face. I looked like Rocky at the end of Rocky.
Did it hurt real bad?
Yeah, it was like it was really it hurt bad. Absolutely.
So what they give you when they stitched you? They give you Vicodin?
Well, here's the thing. I said to the guy, well, the emergency room. First of all, you are so right about the hospital. We're talking right across the Hudson fucking River. Years ago, I had to get a tetanus shot because I hadn't had one in 5 years. And when I first started doing stand up, there was a shitty club on the corner of 2nd Ave and 49th Street that gave me my start. And I'm waiting to go on stage one night to do like a 20-minute set. And this is my buddy Jimmy Palumbo was standing right next to me when this happened. I'm about to go on, and it's the first club I'm like a regular at. I'm nervous. There was construction going on, and I step on a nail that was coming out of a 2x4, and it goes into my foot. And I pulled it out, and my friend saw me pull it out, and it was in my foot, and there was blood on it, like a fucking rusty nail. I did the set of stand-up.
And then you went to the
I
hospital.
went right down to St. Vincent's.
Right.
And look, St. Vincent's, it was crazy crowded, but it's a Manhattan. Like, you eventually got to see a doctor that was competent. Apparently, that's not the case at this place. It was so... First of all, I walk in gushing blood. They were so lethargic. They were just like...
Today.
Yeah. I went down and I got a cab.
They've seen it all.
I guess,
they see gushing blood like that all the time.
Yeah.
They don't get excited.
They're probably like, he's nothing.
I was the only guy in the place.
Really?
And it's all, foreign people, but people who can't speak really good English.
Are they taking care of you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my new doorman now, I used to have personable doormans, but even my doorman, he saw me, he's new, and he saw me, there's no compassion. He's like, what do you want, a cab or something? And I go,
hey, asshole, you want a cab?
I go, yeah. He goes, you want an ambulance? I'm no, just get me a cab. And of of course, I get to the hospital. I have no cash. I had to go to an ATM.
And did you realize today was the day that Antonio Pierce was interning for us? He's been interning all morning. He's been directing the show.
The Giant?
The guy from the Giants.
Yeah.
What? Does he have his ring yet?
Not yet.
Next
It's
week he gets
May something. He says he gets his ring.
He's intern.
He's our intern, and we've been having a great time. Having a real manly show.
I got the ball, man. I'm throwing a ball around.
Yeah.
So then I go to fill out the forms, you know.
Yeah.
And, of course, I forgot my insurance card, but they didn't recognize this, like, about 60-year-old. I heard you guys talking. No one one doctor did, but he wasn't, like, attending to me. This, like, 60-year-old Puerto Rican woman is admitting me.
Right.
And it sounds so weird to say what I do for a living out loud. Like she says, what do you do? And technically I'm self-employed, so I just say self-employed. And then she goes, well, what do you do? And I mean, I have to. I'm a comedian. I say I'm a comedian.
I'm an entertainer.
Right? Is that what you would say?
Yeah, entertainer.
But I said comedian. I mean, technically that's what I
say.
do.
I'm a broadcaster.
Right.
Yeah, but you do a little more. You know, you do the stand-up. So
I don't think I could.
You could be entertainer. I'm a broadcaster.
It's an
I
insult.
always write broadcasting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an insult to broadcasters for me to say broadcaster. Bob Costas will be up in arms. So, and then after I say that, I'm gushing blood, and she goes, "Really? That's weird." And I'm like, "Well, you know, I'd love to talk to you more about it, but
yeah, I'm gushing blood."
So
is that a job-related injury?
Then they take me into the back and they give me a tetanus shot. So now the doctor comes in, this Indian guy, gay Indian guy.
How do you know he's gay?
You don't know that.
All right, I don't know.
All right.
Whatever.
No, all right. You might have thought that, but you don't know that.
And a
I
feminine
thought the guy on
Indian.
Dancing with the Stars was gay. Turns out he's fucking girls all over.
I thought John Hine was gay. 80 blowjobs.
Is that a ring ding?
No, it's my cupcake that I designed.
Oh, okay.
It's Cupcake Wednesday.
Have you eaten it all, or
That's why you
I
came in.
I have an
You know, you look
excuse.
thinner. I swear to God.
I probably do. No, I guarantee I fluctuate. If I don't eat for a little while, like
I swear to God, you didn't eat all morning, and you look thinner.
I fluctuate probably a good 10, 12 pounds. By the way, my
You want to meet Antonio?
My blood pressure is completely normal too. This woman was fascinated by that. But so now this obese woman comes over, right?
Right.
So the effeminate Indian guy. He says, he goes, he goes, I don't know, I think you just need some, just like a butterfly stitch will be fine. And blood is gushing. I'm like, you sure?
He's probably right, but you know what? You need a plastic surgeon to do that.
Yeah, it's your face.
Then this obese Hispanic woman, she can't walk properly. She's so fat, all right? The doctor fucking leaves. There's nobody else in the emergency room. I'm like, where are you going? He goes, well, you know, Agnes or whatever the fuck her name was, she'll put the butterfly stitches on.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I don't know about that. So she's so heavy that I had to hand her shit.
Oh, my God.
Like,
you were taking care of yourself, essentially.
First of all, she had no gloves on. All right? And I said, you want to put gloves on? She goes, if you really want me to. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. She
Where
goes,
were you?
And then she gets all mad at me and goes, you know, I should be more worried about that than you with your blood.
She probably knew your hookers and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I said, listen,
you look like a guy's been with some hookers.
Why don't we make both of us happy, Agnes, and put some gloves on? She goes, all right.
Right,
And
let's not argue about
I had to hand her the gloves because it would have taken her an hour to wiggle around me. And I'm fat, she's fat. We're in the back of the little curtain thing, and we couldn't move around like two beached fucking whales. And she pulls up
You
aside.
hand her the gloves.
Yeah, and she pulls up beside me like she's pulling up to a fucking bar with a bar stool, and she starts putting peroxide on me and this stingy shit. And she goes, does that hurt? I go, it's excruciating.
Were these sterile gloves? Or were they in the big box?
Sterile gloves.
Right.
They were in the box. Big box.
Right,
you
big
hand
box
her,
of
you know,
gloves.
like the fucking things you put on your hand.
Yeah.
And I said to her, what's your name? And she goes, why?
Yeah, don't give her a name.
And I won't.
Yeah.
I never got her name. I go, what's your name? She goes, why? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just making conversation. And I think maybe she got
to pick you up.
Well, I think maybe she got reported before. You know what I mean? Because she was
She's a little leery.
She was very defensive. And I said, all right, you don't have to tell me your name, whatever. And then there's like a tension between us. So now she puts the fucking butterfly stitches on, and blood is still gushing out of my face. And she goes, you know what? I better let the doctor do this. And I go, you're not a doctor?
Oh, no.
She goes, no, I'm not a doctor. She's just like a woman who lives across the street who I think works there. And
They don't have a doctor giving you butterflies?
she had rolls of fat, like she was wearing one of those like polyester pantsuits, and you could see like she had 4 spare tires.
And she couldn't get the stitch right, so they had to come back in and restitch
She
it?
couldn't get the stitch right. So she goes, go over to the doctor. I'm like, where's he?
Yeah.
She goes, go walk that way and ask for a doctor. So now I'm wandering around the fucking emergency room with bare feet because I didn't have time to throw socks on. And I go, blood all over my shirt. And
you hate bare feet.
I do it. I skeeve it.
Especially in a hospital.
I was walking around all skeeved out. And I see the doctor, the feminine guy over there, and I go, hey, are you the doctor? Yeah, are you the doctor who's supposed to do this? He goes, yeah, I'll do it. Agnes doesn't do that. I'm like, well, why?
Oh my God! Then why did you do that in the first place?
Right. So, and he's doing nothing, by the way, just bullshitting with another guy.
Yeah.
And nobody ever said you should have a plastic surgeon look at this.
No, does it look that bad?
Well, you always when you get stitches in your face.
In your face, yeah.
Well, I had stitches in my head before and all over the place. I never got plastic surgery.
No, but in your face, that could a bad scar. It could heal the wrong way. It could be a.
I mean, I don't care. A little
all
makeup on that, or
Makeup.
a little makeup for Letterman.
It'll match your zit.
Yeah, right. I don't. Well, actually, the zit was so red. At some point, the guy said, "Did you cut your nose?" And I had to go, "No, it's a zit." And then he rolled his eyes. So now, the other surreal part of my life. Now the Stern fan. You announced on the air this happened.
Right.
Tons of phone calls start coming into the emergency.
Oh no!
And as the effeminate guy is putting the shit on my eye, and now I'm thinking, is this a guy? If he's gay, does he know me and hate me from the fact that I wished AIDS on Teddy? Yeah. And is he gonna infect me with something?
For God's
sake! So now the nurse comes over from the admitting desk and goes, "Your brother's on the phone," and I go, "I don't have a brother," and she goes, should I take a message? And I go, yeah, it's probably, and they don't know who I am.
It's probably my fan.
I'm like, it was so complicated. I said, it's probably nobody. It's probably a prank call. He was like, why would somebody prank call you here? And I go, I know that sounds weird. I'm on a radio show. So she goes, can I take a very sweet voice. She goes, can I take a message? And then I hear her go, oh, that's awful.
Tell Artie he has a big cock.
Well, no, and I said, what did you say? He said, the guy said...
What did he say?
What a morning. What a morning you've had.
She was so serious. She felt so bad for me. She said there was a guy who said, it's your brother. What? He said, tell my brother he's a double lard. He said, do you have any medicine for being... Can you give him some medicine for being a tub of lard?
She told you that?
Apparently the funniest fan we ever had. No, she was crying. She goes, how insensitive of the guy. And I go...
do you have any medicine for my brother who's a tub of lard?
So I said, who was that?
I hope that guy recorded it.
I said, it was... I said, I'm on the Howard Stern show, and she goes, oh, really? And it was like a woman who doesn't like you, So she goes, oh, really? Well, that show's crazy. I'm like, can someone just put a fucking stitch in my eye?
Did they give you Vicodin for the pain?
Well, here's the other embarrassing thing.
Uh-oh.
He goes, I'm going to give you something for the pain. He goes, I'm going to give you 5 milligram Vicodins.
Oh, so did you tell him it won't work on you because you're on Subutex?
I said, listen to me. I said, first of all, I'm on an opiate blockers thing. And he goes,
you really
why?
Are a comedian.
And you have to be honest with the doctor. So I said, I'm a heroin addict.
The world's heaviest heroin.
Oh my God!
Right, so
the guy's like, I should have worn gloves.
I go, you're a heroin addict, so maybe I can't give you anything. Are you going to get addicted to this? No, I said, what I'm saying is, you would have to give me liquid morphine for it to kill the pain. Nothing's going to work on me. The 5 milligram Vicodin is going to be like me taking a Tic Tac or something. So he goes, so now the junkie in me is going, do you have any liquid morphine or something? And because in my head I could justify taking it. He goes, well, you're going to have to live with the pain. I'm not giving you anything because you could become addicted again. And I'm like, all right.
What do they give you when they do the stitch? Do they give you anything?
No, the butterfly stitch. They just slap it on you.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It's a tape.
Yeah.
But
you mean it's not an actual stitch?
No, it's just it's it stays on for 2 days. And quite frankly, my sister showed up to bring. She went and got my insurance cards. And she thought I needed stitches.
Yeah. I don't like the look of that.
My
over
sister's
there.
so funny. She gets so mad at people who are incompetent. She's so professional.
Let me see. Turn around so I can see it. No, it looks like it's coagulate. I mean, I don't know. It looks a little exposed.
Yeah, but I don't see, again, it shouldn't be this big blob of red.
Yeah, maybe you should go to a real doctor.
I don't know what that is over there going on.
The effeminate guy said he was a doctor.
All right.
But so it was really, really, the whole thing was embarrassing because I had to say I'm a heroin addict,
yeah, once you do that stuff, that's what happens. You have to go tell everybody.
Like, I realize so much about me is just embarrassing. Like, there's these prank calls coming into an emergency room. A guy, my brother's calling me a tub of lard. I have to say out loud that I'm a comedian, but if someone says you're a comedian and you don't recognize them, loser. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, where would I see you?
Like, where do you do comedy?
They're like, yeah, okay, Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not Carlos Mencia. But, and then I had to say I'm a heroin addict.
All right, listen.
I couldn't get Vicodin, so now I'm just dealing with the pain.
How you feeling, man?
I'm all right, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't get any fucking opiates. Somebody in there? No, Robin probably won't. I'll go outside. Isaac, what's up, brother?
Sorry, what made you decide to come in today with all the, the injury and everything?
It's called professionalism. Look it up in the dictionary, Greg. You want to see a picture of you, you may see one of me showering and getting in here this morning.
I like your style.
Some of us earn our paycheck, but